All right. So everybody, what we're first going to do is we're going to go in to her ads manager. So if you're not familiar with ads manager, it's essentially where in Facebook ads, you can promote stuff, right? So if I have a Shopify store and I sell t-shirts, or if I have a, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I have to sell, anything, I can manage my ads. So this is, I believe this would be, yes, this is her Facebook business page, fan page, right?
Correct.
So this is what she has set up to start. Well, look at this last post. She was at the mastermind, and you can just see here a small little group of people just sitting, hanging out, and masterminding about ads and strategies and how to run Facebook and how to get more views on YouTube, right? She's got 600 likes on this page, right? And she's putting out, slowly dripping out content to these people. Now, to turn up the heat a little bit, you can go into, what we're going to do is click up here in the top right. We're going to go to manage ads, and we're going to get right into it. Okay. So no fluffy stuff here today. We're just going to get right into it. Is this the one that you're running ads from?
Well, I did my likes campaign from that, but I think it really should be from the Market to Millions account. But yeah, that one, the first one, not not Market 2.
So if you've already run ads on the other one, let's stick with that one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got a little seasoning to the ads account. So
Okay.
We'll stick with that, and there's really not a big difference. A lot of people have different theories on that. There's not really any real difference. They function the exact same, so it's not a big deal. Okay, cool. So if we're here in the ads manager then, this month, for the month of May, all right, so what we're going to do, in order to create an ad, now let's just back up for a quick second, and let me also just explain your sales funnel. So that would I think it's actually this, I would guess. Yeah. All right, guys. So essentially, in a nutshell, is this where we're going to send them?
The ads? Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So
yeah.
In a nutshell, everybody, there's going to be a few pieces to this sales funnel process, right? So stick with me here. The first piece is what we call an ad, right? Or content or an ad. So you might have YouTube content, or you might have blog content, or you might go on Facebook and place an ad. Okay. Second piece is you have a landing page, a capture page, a lead capture page. Look at this right now. That's what this is on the screen. This is a lead capture page. I'm capturing their information. Now the cool part is when I enter my information on this screen, it's connected to her autoresponder. She has like 30 plus emails that are going to go out one after the other, right? And so the people who come through here who read her story, who enter their name and email are going to get emails from her for over a month. And one per day, every single day to follow up, right? Most sales happen between the 5th and 12th contact online. So there's this very real thing that happens in email marketing where when you get a lead, you need to follow up with those leads. And this is how you do it, right? So then if I hit get instant access here, what it's going to do is it's going to take us to a bridge page. Now this is what's called a bridge page funnel. All right. So what she did is she actually has a video. So this is connecting the dots, right, between her ad and her landing page with whatever she's going to offer, which is your bridge page. Okay. So she's out on her ranch. She's got her horses. And this is just playing a little slow because we're doing screen share and we have a lot of bandwidth issue right now. But so you guys can see this video that she's got. And then if she wants to get them to start their journey, she's got a little bit of a little bio kind of thing down below. And then you can click, yes, show me the video. And they're going to jump right over to the 15-day challenge with Dave Sharp. All right. So this is where she's then collecting sales on the back end of things. All right. Now, Jane, just one thing is probably go in on that bridge page, and I would change that to Marketers Club, just because that free challenge aspect is going to go away eventually.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so the first stage of getting traffic, this is the process of getting traffic, getting people, targeted people to a page, right? To a sales funnel where you can then capitalize and make an ROI. This is the first step. So we're going to create a little ad, all right? So I'm going to show you how to do this right now. We're actually going to place her ad and get it live on this webinar, okay? So there's a bunch of different campaigns in Facebook ads, and I have training in the back office on this, but there's a bunch of different types of campaigns, for instance. And follow this, because there's awareness, there's consideration, and there's conversion. These are the different categories, right? So awareness, consideration, and conversion. This means cold, warm, and hot, right? Awareness is I have no clue who you are. Consideration is, oh, I heard of you, or I may have heard of you, and I might be more interested in what you've got to tell me now. And then conversion ad is a hot, right? It's like you're asking for the sale kind of thing, right? Now, the way that we structure this and make this function, it makes the most sense to do a conversion ad here, even though we're really focusing more on reach and lead generation. The conversion ad is going to make the most sense for driving leads to a lead capture page. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a conversion campaign, all right? And we're just going to name this, I'm going to call it MC 5/20/19. That way we know what day we launched it. We know we're going to the Marketers Club, okay? So create A/B split test. Nope, just going to leave it. We can do that on our own. Optimize budget across ad sets. Just going to leave that alone too, okay? There's no right or wrong here. It's just I've tested quite a bit of this and I haven't really seen much good come from doing those. So for me at least, I'm just not going to do it here. If you want to, in your own marketing, I'm speaking to Jana, I'm speaking to everybody. In your own marketing, if you want to test that, you can. It's not a big deal. Generally, with a lot of marketing, there's not a right or a wrong or a yes or a no. It's a test and try and see, okay? All right, now, in the ad set, now we've moved on from the campaign to the second category, which is the ad set, okay? So imagine that the campaign itself is a filing cabinet, right? It's a filing cabinet that's going to store all your audiences, all your ads, everything. So inside of this campaign, we're going to have ad sets, which are like the file folders, right? That when you pull out a filing cabinet and there's all those folders inside of it, okay, those are ad sets. And then the paper, the actual individual pieces of paper that go into the folders, that's our ad. That's our identity, the format, the pictures you'll actually see. It's the creative. All right, so now on this, I'm going to install one thing for you real quick, which is the Facebook. And if you're taking notes here, this is a really important extension to put into Chrome. Facebook Pixel extension for Chrome. Now what this is it'll allow you to, it's the Facebook Pixel Helper is what it's called. But essentially what it'll do is it will allow you to see if your Facebook Pixel is installed or not. So we're going to add this as an extension. We'll let it load. No, we don't need that. Okay. All right, so I'll close this out now. Now you can see up here, right here, Facebook Pixel Helper, right? So we don't have a Facebook Pixel on that one. But if I go back, let's see if we've got it on here. Oh, baby, we have the pixel, right? However, notice this and take note, the lead pixel is installed on this page. This isn't the page we want that installed on. We want that installed on the next page. So now we're going to run over to ClickFunnels and fix this real quick. This is why we do this, so you guys can see the little techie hiccups and things that come up along the way to make sure you get all these pieces right. Now, why did I not want somebody on here? Give me a hand raise if you've placed Facebook ads before. Has anybody on here placed Facebook ads? Are you all pretty new to this process? Anybody? Literally nobody has placed a Facebook ad. Okay, somebody has. Okay, we got a couple. Brittany has. Why would I, for those of you who have, why would I not want the lead pixel on this page? Why would I not place a lead pixel on this page? And what a lead pixel is when somebody hits the page, it sends back to Facebook and says, hey, you got a new lead. The reason I wouldn't do that on this page is because this is the first page they get to. They're not a lead yet, right? They're not a lead quite yet because it's the squeeze page. Exactly. Brad got it. Gail got it. Yeah, they haven't opted in yet. Exactly right. So literally what we're going to do here is we're going to hop into ClickFunnels where this is where her sales funnel is made. And we're going to go right into the bridge funnel here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make this little correction. So I'm going to go to edit page and see if it's let me see if it's on the lead page. Okay, so the lead pixel's on both of them. So let's see if it's in here. If it's in this tracking code here. Okay, it's not. So I know where it is then. So if it's not there, we'll go back here into settings. And it's going to be right here. All right, so we have our head tracking code. Now this is all done correctly. This is done right. All right, but I'm assuming in somewhere in here we have something that is a lead indicator or something to that effect. I don't actually see that, so I have no idea where this is now. Okay, so this is good. We're going to figure it out. But I don't know where it is because generally it would be right here. So you're watching live as I'm like, you know, this is your guys' life, is this like techie nightmare stuff, right? Sometimes. So let me just show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking right here where it says track page view. So that's the event that it's tracking for Facebook, right? Is just page view. However, when I go here, somehow, some way, somewhere, it's shooting a lead pixel and page view, right? Now, generally, if it's shooting that lead pixel, it would be somewhere in here. So it would be somewhere in this coding, in this, it would say lead somewhere in this pixel, right? So you've done that part right so far. But somewhere this is getting us mixed up. So let's go to the thank you page. Let's edit the thank you page and see. Jane, I'm curious, do you have an inkling of where that is or how that got on there?
Don't have a clue. I mean, I just followed your instructions, you know, months ago and haven't thought about it since.
Cool. All
and
right,
just trusted it worked. Yeah.
All right, so here's the lead pixel, right? This is what I was looking for on the other one, was this lead pixel. So this is all done correctly, but somehow it's showing up on the opt-in page as well. Let me make sure that, let me go to it from my computer. Interesting. So on my computer, it's not showing up. So I think what we might have an issue of is on your computer, I think the page might be cached. It's called caching.
Yeah.
So let me preview this page, and I bet it won't show up here. Let me see. There we go. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good to double check, and it's always good to look, but we're actually good to go. for some reason on your browser here,
That's why I don't use Chrome too much, because it was doing all kinds of messed up things to me. So I just use Internet Explorer.
okay. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but sometimes that will mess up. There's things that Internet Explorer messes up. There can also be things that Chrome. Now, with Facebook Pixel, here's the thing. I think what happened here, I'm just going to clarify. I think what happened is you took the Pixel. Remember when you said, I think we should do it from that other account?
Mm-hmm.
I think you took the Pixel from that account, that other ad account, and put it on this page. So we're going to have to change that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barely.
I'll show you. Because each ad account, you have 3 of them. Each one has a different pixel.
Okay.
So, did I spell this right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to create a new pixel for this one. I just had a question come through that says, do I need a page view pixel to show in both landing page and bridge page? Yes, you do. But it will be the same pixel. So after you create the pixel, you'll click Setup Pixel Now, and you'll click Manually Install the pixel code yourself. And then you're going to scroll down here to number 2 and copy this pixel. So all you're going to do, CK, so Chao Kwang was the person who asked this question. You go to Settings for your funnel, and we're just going to replace this code here. We're going to select all, and we're going to paste in the new code. All right? So now the pixel that's on this funnel is the exact pixel for the ad account that we're actually going to be using. That's all we really have to change, okay? So I'm going to click on Continue. I was just reading a question here. I'm just getting a little echo, Jane, so I'm going to mute you, and I think you can unmute yourself whenever you want to speak. All right, so we got it. It's set up. It's good to go. And now, remember, we're using a lead event. So I'm going to type in lead here, and I'm going to click on it. Got it? So there we go. So now it's going to track leads because we haven't actually done it. We haven't actually done anything. You're going to see a red dot. So if you want that red dot to go away, click on Verify Pixel. All right, so I'm going to click on Manually Install the pixel code yourself. And if I would have scrolled down even further, I can send test traffic. All right, so we'll make sure that this shows up here. It says that there's a 2 and it's green. So then I'll close this window. Click Continue. And then I'll close this. And it doesn't look like it did anything. So, okay, so let's do this again. Let's make sure that this works. Maybe we're just getting a little bit of a glitch. It could just be Google Chrome being weird or whatever. Because we do have it installed. It's good to go. Everything's fine. Let's scroll down. Scroll down. Oh, okay, here. So it still says no activity. Look at what Facebook says. If the status is still no activity after 20 minutes, so this might take 20 minutes to flip green. Got it? That's a new little feature. So Brad, yeah, so what it's going to do, Brad, is it's going to show us how many leads we're generating in Facebook ads. If I don't track this, right, if I don't track this lead pixel here, then what's going to happen is Facebook's algorithm, as we place ads, tracks over a 7-day click. So what they're doing is over the span of a week, their algorithm is essentially optimizing for conversions, for leads. But if Facebook's pixel can't look and see which people are becoming leads, then they can't optimize and find more people like them. So your costs will go up over time or stay around the same, as opposed to if you have this conversion pixel like this, your costs slowly go down because they're finding the same people. They're finding more similar people. It's their advanced, or it's their artificial intelligence. It's AI, right? Not necessarily a lookalike, Brittany. It'll do it before you even get into lookalikes. Like, yeah, lookalike is one thing, but it'll start to do essentially that on its own. It optimizes itself. Okay, so we have our conversion. We have our lead pixel, okay? So we're going to go down now to, and I'm going to just skip all of this stuff. You don't need this stuff right now, okay? But I'm going to come down here to audience. Now, this is define who you want to see your ads. This is super important, all right? Side note, if you have a Shopify store, you're going to want to go into Shopify, and they actually have a plugin for Facebook Pixel, and it'll pixel your entire site. It'll track the amount of time that people spend on certain items. So if you have a Shopify store and you're selling clothing, you install the Facebook, there's plugins. It'll do all of this pixely stuff for you. And you can track everybody who's been on a certain product for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So you can track if people have been looking at your products for longer than a minute, and then you can retarget those people with ads to buy, right? Super powerful. Okay, so we have audience here, all right? So audience-wise, look, you know, I'm not saying you're really old, but I am saying 18-year-olds probably aren't going to resonate with your story, right? Here, let me unmute you, right?
Correct. Yeah. Don't want 18-year-olds.
And I'm not marketing to 67-year-olds. It's just, look, when it comes down to audience, you're going to want to find people in your age range, maybe people who have been through similar things or are interested in similar things that you are, right? Okay, so Nathan's 18 years old. Nathan, you probably aren't going to do a lot of marketing to, if you're marketing yourself, like you and your brand, probably not to like 72-year-olds. I mean, sure, they might buy, right? But you're going to want to market to people who are going to really resonate with your story. And you growing up on Snapchat and Instagram is not really the background that, you know, a 72-year-old has, right? So maybe they could buy, but you'll lower your cost for each buyer if you can nail down exactly who it is that you're targeting. So the custom audiences, we can leave this blank for right now because we don't have enough traffic to really dial that piece in. All right, so one big thing here, location-wise, I always like to change the location to people who live in this location rather than just everyone in this location. If there's people traveling from like other countries or whatever, what I'm looking for is my target demographic is the person who would actually live in one of these locations, live in one of these places, right? Okay, so what can I do in terms of targeting people around the world, right? So when I'm doing targeting on Facebook, you can literally type in the word worldwide, okay? You don't want to do this, but you can. And you can target 2.1 billion people. So that's a thing you can do. If you wanted to target, if you want your ads to show up to the entire world, okay, if we're going to target 2.1 billion people, and I know that that's absurd, but just stick with me for a second, it's probably going to take us 210,000 days to do that because on average we're going to get between 2.7 and 17,000 people, right? So 210,000 divided by 365. It would take you 575 years to hit the whole world, right? So, okay, probably not great. Probably not a great option. Probably not going to happen, right? It's pretty unrealistic, but also it's just too broad, everybody, right? So think about how big and broad the world is, right? There's people who are on Android phones in the middle of the desert in Africa who just, I mean, literally, like, they don't have a dime to their name. They're walking 6 miles to get fresh water. So if I want to sell them like $1,000 course on Facebook, or a 500, or even a $30 Marketers Club, do you really think that that's money well spent on advertising? Probably not, right? So who are we going to target? In this case, well, we need to find people with a little bit of money at least, right? I mean, at least some measure of, like, maybe credit or money in hand or whatever, right? So, I mean, you can go to, United States, Canada. I mean, look, you can target, we just had a guy at our mastermind who's from Tanzania, right? Paid a lot of money to be at Florida, flying there. He's like, traveling all over the world. We had a couple ladies from the Netherlands, right? So I'm not saying you just need to target, US, Canada, Australia, whatever. I mean, you can get a little bit more broad, but just look, when you're getting started, this is kind of a good, like, US, Canada makes up a lot of people who respond to our ads. It just is. It's more familiar, it's more known, okay? So for right now, I'm just going to leave it at that. Is that cool? And we can always change it, okay? All right, so now let's move on to the age. So with the age, like, I would say probably 45 is like where I would set this at the minimum. In general, that's actually the best in terms of cost. A lot of times the best cost anyway, even outside of your age. Like, even if you were 38, I would still probably say that would be a good range. Make sense? And then I would probably say like 60 as our max. Thoughts?
Well, why not 65?
We can go to 65. Sure.
Okay.
Cool. So
it's just not that old. I run into a lot of people who are that age who are, like, just getting into internet stuff, and really it's like rocking their world. So I know they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, they're everywhere. Okay. So now, if we're going to target Canada and the US, generally, like, people are going to be English-speaking people. So you can literally leave the language part blank. If you're out there and you're going to advertise to, I mean, Italy and Belgium and Indonesia, and I mean, if you're marketing to countries, yes, Brittany, that's the reason. If you're marketing to countries that, like, don't speak English as a normal everyday language, you're going to want to go right here and go and select English. And you can select English all, right? So right now, so far, we have 94 million people to market to. Not bad, right? Now, here's the other thing. Do we want to narrow this down by gender? Do we want to just launch this to women? Do we want it to be women and men?
I don't know. Maybe what if we did women and men, and then as I progress, then we can start narrowing things down.
Yep.
Even more.
So as we run ads, in your back office in Facebook, it's going to tell you your cost for each lead for a male and the cost for each lead for a female. So it might be 82 cents per lead for a female. It might be $1.47 for a male, or it might be $6 for a male. And then you'd be like, oh my gosh, why would I advertise to
yeah.
male?
Yeah. And why is that? What determines that cost?
Your story, ad photos, right? I mean, if you get a lady who's, like, advertising herself in a bikini on a beach, right? Her ad costs and whatever for males goes way down, right? all the guys are just like, "Wow, what's going on here?" You know, and so
Right.
they flood to this because it's, you know, clickbait. So it's not actually all that congruent, right? It's not actually really
I
great.
agree. Yeah.
It's kind of misleading a little. So, okay, so we're going to leave the English blank. We're just going to delete that, leave that blank. Now we're going to go down to here, which is detailed targeting. This is some of the most important stuff in Facebook ads is right here. So when we're talking targeting, I want everybody to pay super close attention. Some of the best traffic online comes from Google search. Search, meaning somebody types in, how do I start an online business? How do I start a Shopify store? How do I start drop shipping? How do I start making money on the internet? Something like that, right? They're looking to figure out, I want to create a real business. I want to set up an LLC. I want to set up a real business, and I want to make an income from this thing called the internet, right? So Facebook does not allow that, right? Facebook is interruption marketing. However, if you can get the targeting right, then you can essentially do just that. You can turn Facebook into a search platform for the most part and still get your costs really, really low, okay? All right, so if we're going into detailed targeting, everybody, so if I go to browse here, okay, and I go to demographics, or I go to interests, or I go to behaviors, there's a whole massive selection of things that I can target here, right? So this is very much based around entrepreneurship. So let me show you one. If I was to just target entrepreneurship, the size of that audience is 313 million people, right? So it's a pretty big, broad audience, right, of entrepreneurs or people who like something to do with entrepreneurship. Now here would be something a little bit more powerful and targeted than that. Would be somebody like Amy Porterfield. Are you familiar with her?
I'm not actually.
Okay, so Amy Porterfield is wildly famous in affiliate marketing, network marketing, digital marketing space, has a podcast everybody loves, and it is just has like a cult-like following. But she specifically, if somebody clicks like on Amy Porterfield, there's almost a certainty that they are in affiliate marketing, which is kind of like the realm you're going for, right? See the difference there? Entrepreneurship versus a singular person. So let's just try out Amy Porterfield and let's just smash that audience and see what happens, right? Okay, now, just for everybody who's watching, there's this little checkbox, okay? Now, there is no right or wrong to this. Again, not everything that I'm showing you is right or wrong. It's just you test it and try it and get a result. That's how marketing works. So there's this little checkbox. I'll tell you from my perspective, every time I use this stupid checkbox, my costs are higher. I don't know why that is, when the whole goal of that little checkbox is to increase conversions and lower costs, right? It makes zero sense that every time I've tested it, it's like, it's just I don't know, my costs go up. It makes no sense. So I always uncheck that because, look, if I'm targeting Amy Porterfield, I don't want them diving into other audiences that they conceive of or are kind of like that. Maybe they start digging in audiences around like drop shipping and just weird stuff that like people might not really be, I don't know, might not be my target, right? Good question, CK. So the Amy Porterfield thing, yes, it's specific to the ad for Jane a little bit, but it's also just generic entrepreneurs, right? She's going to pull in a lot of females who are trying to start their own business. And I think personally, those people are going to be the perfect audience for this or close. I could be wrong. Look, I could be wrong. It might not. It might not work. I don't know. But I've done this enough times to know it probably will. Okay, so now look, I can add more of these. I can say Amy Porterfield and And let's say digital marketing. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? So they have to like Amy Porterfield and like digital marketing or have an interest in digital marketing or affiliate marketing. Now, one quick thing for everybody who's watching. Notice these little gray things over here to the right. This is super important. This is somebody, job titles, who has typed into Facebook, my job title is an affiliate marketer. This is somebody who said their employer is affiliate marketer, right? That's actually somebody who's probably taking this decently seriously. Interest just means that they've liked something remotely that has to do with affiliate marketing. So that's a little more broad, right? But I'm okay using that because we're now getting really detailed. We're saying affiliate, Amy Porterfield is our first umbrella. Underneath her umbrella, I don't want all 2 million of those people. I want people who have indicated they liked her and also indicated they like affiliate marketing or digital marketing or something like that, right? It's an even more targeted thing. So now we're down to about 460,000 people. Now we're starting to dial it in. We're starting to really dial this in and get only the people that we really want. So we got Amy Porterfield. We have affiliate marketing. Now what we can do is click suggestions. Okay, maybe we want people who are interested in let's say passive income. Probably, right? Okay.
Good one.
Online advertising and social media marketing, that can be people who mostly are like social media content creators or influencers. I don't know. That might not be exactly what we're looking for. I don't know. So where we're at right now, I think we have enough. We have 490,000 people. The first category is people who like Amy Porterfield or have shown interest. And these other things, which plays more into like a marketing and kind of lifestyle design feel to it, right? So I'm honing in my audience. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave that, we're gonna scroll down. Charles, there's no right or wrong on the audience size to target. There really isn't. Just get it, because different target markets are gonna be bigger or smaller. So, if I'm in the coffee industry and I'm in specialty coffee industry, it's going to be a smaller, and so I'm looking more in like 25 to 50,000. Also depends on how many countries you're advertising this to, right? So if it's worldwide, so here, 500,000 people, it's still a little broad, but we've really narrowed it down that they have to be sort of a fan of hers, which indicates to me that they're interested in finding a way to create a digital business, and they've also taken action on liking something else too. There's no right or wrong on that. I wouldn't go under, let's say, like 50,000 people, just because then you're getting really small, and you might want to niche that far down, but that's only going to last you like a month in ads or 2 months in ads because the audience is so small. All right, so we're going to scroll down, and we're going to do, you can leave this as automatic placements, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit edit placements, and at least in this initial go, all right, now let's go. There again, no right or wrong answer to this, guys, right? So we have all of these different placements. Jane, do you have an Instagram account connected to this or no?
Yes.
Okay, so we can also place it on Instagram, which is awesome. So right now we can leave all of these. One thing is I'm not going to leave it in the marketplace because that's where people buy and sell stuff. I'm not going to put it in suggested videos because we're going to do an image ad. But we can leave it everywhere else. We'll take off in-stream videos. Okay, and we're going to take off stories as well. We're just going to put this in the feed for people because the stories aspect based on our image is going to look a little different, and you'd want to size it a little different too. Okay, so just take a mental note of the ones that we selected here. Again, If you want to put them on those things, go for it. Not a big deal, right? Okay, and then we'll just leave it on everything else. A majority of these are going to come from Facebook feeds, like almost all of them, all our leads basically, okay? All right, so I scroll down. All right, so now we're going to set our daily budget. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on 10. You can come back and change this later if you want. I recommend not changing the budget frequently. Like, don't be changing this every day. Maybe every 3 days is okay. Okay, so, and if I scroll down, conversion, we're just going to leave all of this. We can just leave it all. We don't have to touch it, anything, okay? We're just going to set it to $10 a day, call it a day, all right? All right, so now I'm going to click continue. All right, so ad name, MC0519-2019. That did not work. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm going to scroll down and we're going to select, make sure you select the right page. Oops. So this one, right?
Correct.
Cool. And then we'll scroll down, oops, to the Instagram page, Instagram account. Okay, we don't have an Instagram account attached yet. You're out of it.
Thought we did.
That's okay. We'll just leave it.
Okay. That's weird.
So if you don't have that, essentially this is a new option. I didn't know they did this, but it's going to show up on Instagram with the same name as your Facebook page and a little image. So it'll be fine. You don't even need Instagram. But it'll show up on Instagram. So that's cool. All right, so we'll just do a single image ad. Okay, so we're going to go down. Do you have the image readily available?
You could go on my, click on there, I guess, and go, and we can extrapolate one from somewhere. Yeah. Shoot, that's, you want to scroll down a little bit?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see if you have them.
Can you take it straight? Can you take it right from Facebook?
Yeah.
By any chance? Okay. Because there's probably enough images on Facebook. I don't have a lot uploaded to this computer yet because it's brand new.
Oh, yeah.
So. Yeah, this is a bunch of other junk.
Okay.
I mean, there's one down here. Could use that one. Oops.
Hold on.
That one right there. Not that one.
Hang on. One sec. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Not that one.
Right.
Okay. Let's see how this looks. Chakwang, so on the platform aspect, you don't need an Instagram account in order to place an ad on Instagram from Facebook. So that's all I was trying to say there. Okay. All right, yeah, so this is, so.
It's kind of dark. Can we just pick something off of Facebook?
Yeah, I think that was off Facebook.
No, that was off of my computer stuff.
No, that was pulled from your account.
And that's the only options they give us of all the pictures I've put on Facebook?
I think, I don't know. Like this is all
crazy.
And then you also have ones that are from your page. So
yeah. Yeah. Huh. That wouldn't be, those wouldn't have any good pictures.
Oh, maybe there's still some loading. Okay, so wait, hang on. Hang on, everybody, hang on. Okay, well, just for the sake of creation, let's just leave it. Because literally, once we place this ad, we can pause it and then switch it.
Okay.
So that'll be totally fine. So if we scroll down then, I'm going to turn off ad blocker for this site because that's why the thing on the right is not showing up, the preview. Okay. So our website URL, remember, is this. Okay, that's our landing page. And I have your ad. I love how it's 1,400 words and you say condensed.
Because the old one was like 2,200 words.
I know, I'm just messing.
Can't help it.
All right, so here's our ad. Now, she wrote a story ad based on my training in the back office. And okay, so let me scroll up. Okay, so now we're to the top of this ad. Too far. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to scan through just the spacing of this stuff.
Great.
Generally, guys, when you're typing in an ad on Facebook, you want 2 sentences, 1 to 2 sentences, and then a full line space. Oops. Like right in the beginning, we just want like these line spaces. The more, it gives the brain almost a little bit of a mental, it's been proven to increase readership. It gives the brain gaps, and it allows the reader to move through the content quicker. When it's all smushed together like that, the brain has a harder time keeping track of where it was at. It gets lost, on and on.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
I have a question about that too, because I noticed in yours, every once in a while, you just have a full sentence bold. And is there an art to bolding sentences as you go?
Yeah, on Facebook, you can't bold.
Okay.
There are some softwares that have kind of hacked that a little bit, but generally, no. I mean, you can't bold in an ad.
But what's the logic for that, though, when you're doing it elsewhere?
Oh, just because the more you can kind of break up, right? If there's just a lot of text that just looks all the same, generally, people's eyes are going to look at it and just be like, oh, that's long. But if you can have in bold the things that are most intriguing, or the things that are most like, whoa, or grab somebody's attention, you might get someone's attention who otherwise is going to look at it and disappear. I honestly think this image might just crush. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great ad photo. Usually the ones that you think aren't the best ad photos are the best ad photos.
Ain't no accounting for taste. Okay, can you
say what?
If you go back up to those bullets number 1 and number 2 that are numbered there on number 2.
Got it.
after that first sentence, then make a break on number 2 at the end of the first sentence, which says, I do not have the time or money to be sick.
Got it.
And then that next sentence really, I don't know, I thought could be broken apart from that number 2.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
There we go. That.
Cool. Okay, we're almost there.
Just told everybody to bring a snack and a drink.
Yeah. So this, just so you know, this will be the longest ad I've ever seen placed on Facebook.
No way.
Hey, so you're setting records for something.
Yeah, spending a lot of money.
I think this will. I think this will do really well because long form, longer ad copy like this that's written well, which yours is, usually does better than short. I mean, not always, but this is good long form stuff that generally will really wrap people in. So maybe not everybody reads this whole thing, but the people who do, right? Mine was like 1,100 words, Bruce. The people who do read it are really invested. So it's really powerful because the quality of lead is just higher.
Okay. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
I mean, we'll definitely find out. It may take a little bit of time, but the other thing, here's the other reason that a lot of this works really well is because the longer Facebook prices your ads, like how much you pay based on the level of engagement that happens with them. So for instance, the longer that people sit on your ads and have them open on their screen, the longer that it has screen time that is your ad, the higher the engagement is, right? And so what most people don't realize is that when you have longer ads and you have more engagement like this, your cost for each lead usually goes down as well because your relevancy score will be higher. It's more engagement, more time spent on your ad, more time spent on Facebook with the app open, and that's what they love. Even though you're sending them off to another page, that's not a big deal to them. They want engagement. They want people who are going to keep people around and engaged on Facebook for a long time. Okay.
Oh, look, the end. Yay. Oh, we didn't want that dig deep stuff, right?
Yeah, I can't remember how we ended that.
Your stuff should be in there. Oh, we didn't save it. We didn't save it? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You put in two calls to actions of clicking the button is what you did.
Yep.
And you broke it up and you put another sentence in between.
We'll just put one here at the bottom and that'll be fine. I'm just gonna put Jane. Make it more personal.
It's great.
Sound good? Look good?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. The learn more button is just right here, CK, where it says call to action. It's right here. It'll just be there automatically. What do you think?
You know way more than I do, Matt. What do you think? I'm happy with it. Yeah.
You just placed your first ad. All right.
Just like that.
So right here, here's the ad. It's in review. As soon as that gets going, it's gonna go. You start producing leads for you. So just for everybody here, including you, the first thing I do when I hit submit on an ad is you better believe I'm going right here. I'm clicking on it. And that'll take me to the ad sets. I'm going to click on the ad set. And then I'm going to go to this part, which is the actual ad, right? You can see that up here. I'm going to click on edit. This is really, really important. I'm going to go to add preview. And I'm going to do Facebook post with comments. And this is going to pull open my actual ad as it will show to the public. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. I mean, we scroll down. Then it'll have the image. And then it'll have a learn more button.
That my stuff won't show up in there, right? In the JP and my email address?
Right, correct.
That's okay. That's just because of my computer, right? Okay.
It'll show up like this.
Okay.
Then what you're going to want to do is enter your info, right? So let's make sure this actually works, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So always test your funnel, everybody. Always test it. All right. Now I'm submitting. Uh-oh. Confirm your subscription.
What does that mean? This is what happens when I use Chrome, though. Everything's broken on Chrome.
This isn't a Chrome problem.
Okay.
Unless it's all of the caching and stuff. But we're going to go into your Aweber. And this is a setting in Aweber for your list. Is it this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we're going to go to list options and list settings. We're going to scroll down. Just kidding. We're going to go to confirmation message. Right here, see it? So again, this is why you test, right?
Yeah.
Save settings. Now, when people go through that, they are not going to get this error.
Right.
Got me? They're not going to get that error. Now, that could have just been because of caching, because that didn't happen to me before. So that legitimately could be a thing. All right, but yeah, So then what we're going to want to do is just make certain, let's see here. I'm just looking in my email. Bear with me, everybody.
Oops, did I just do something?
Yeah, can you open Chrome again?
Yep. There? Or there? There we go.
Okay, cool. So we saved it all. So now when people go through that, they should start getting those emails. So if I go to yours, and I'm actually doing it on my other computer here. Okay, so I just did it. I did not get that confirmation message or anything like that. It looks great, looks perfect, right? So all good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you then under subscribers. There we go. See that right here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all good to go. It's working. And
thank you.
Let's see if I got your first email.
Look at that.
And the links in the email even work. Okay, so everything is working. Your whole funnel is working just fine. Cool?
Yeah, super cool.
So you're good to go. You just click the first tab.
And it just runs indefinitely unless I change it or say otherwise, right?
Yep. You'll log into Ads Manager, and all you got to do is, if you ever want to pause it or change anything, right? So you can go to campaigns here and just click this little blue button, and this will turn it off. It'll just pause it. Don't delete them, just pause it, right? And if you want to change your budget, you come here to Ad Sets, and then you click this little pencil and change this. And then it'll change your daily budget.
And what budgets do you think are more effective? Especially when
you could do $5, you could do $150. Like there's no right or wrong. The only right or wrong here is like $10 is an okay place to start. And all you want to find out is what your cost per result is going to be. If it is $2 per lead, then generally you don't want that budget to be less than $4 per lead. Whatever your cost per result is, take that times 2, and you don't want to be spending any less than that per day. Make sense? So if your average lead cost is $5 per lead, every lead costs you $5, then take 5 times 2, which is 10, and your daily budget right here, this number, should be at least 10.
Okay, if not more.
If not more. It can be infinitely more. But your kind of ideal is about 5 times. So let's say you're getting leads for $1 per lead. Ideal budget is at least 5 times, but your bare minimum is 2 times. Got it? I'm assuming you're going to get leads here for anywhere from 50 cents per lead to, it could be up to $3 per lead, probably somewhere in that range. So you'd be fine spending, like, literally, if that was the case, $2 a day to $5 a day or more. Make sense?
Yeah, and then do you start monitoring this like every day?
Yeah.
Coming in and looking at this stuff and seeing what's going on?
Don't change anything more than once every 3 days.
Right. I won't change anything, but you just look and see what's happening, right? You know, like, wow, what are these leads costing? Let's check it out.
Yep. Yep. And up here, you can set the dates that you're selecting, so you can see what it cost you yesterday versus today versus last week versus this week. So you can see trends, right? Start to monitor. Okay, the last 3, and you're going to have outliers. Some days you'll get 10 leads, some days you'll get 2. If you have a day where you get 10 leads and then you get 2 leads the next day, don't freak out and shut everything down and lose your mind over it. You're going to have like consistent days where it's going well. Then you're going to have days where it's just an outlier day and you get no leads. Just how it goes.
Okay.
Cool.
And then at what point do you go, okay, we've tested this, long enough, let's tweak something like the length of the ad or, the title. Remember when you were going to say, let's throw in there, writing this from a 22,000 square foot mansion.
Right. You can do that right now. So you could go in here into where it says ads. You can click duplicate. And then let's actually do it. So since everybody's here, we want to split test something. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave everything here the same. I'm just going to click duplicate. And again, for anybody who wants to rewatch this, this will be in the back office later tonight. We're going to upload it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say new title, writing from 22,000 square foot mansion. So that way in our back office, we know which one this is, right? So if I go down, text, I'm going to keep everything the same. See, like this is just marketing and testing. See what I mean? I would even, I would probably put 2 of them like that.
Yeah. And now do they, for the split test, is it still the same amount of money that's running and they're just splitting it and half of them they're doing like 50% this, 50% that?
Yep.
Okay.
Budget stays the same.
Okay.
If you duplicate ads, where you would start to spend more is if you start spending duplicating audiences. Because when you duplicate the audiences, that's where you're duplicating an ad set where your budget is set.
Right. Got it.
So this one is published. Now let me show you what this looks like. Yes, everybody who's watching, this will be available to you in your back office under Marketers Club, and then you go to replays. All right. So now in our ad sets, if I click on the one ad set we have, it's going to pull open our ads. And now we got 2 ads. See that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can handle that. Remember how I was saying like more than that would just be too overwhelming to have like all these ads running at the same time. 2 I can handle.
Yeah, just so you get the feel of it, right? I mean, so let's see. It said I was getting an error. Oh, there we go. All right. So on cost per lead, okay? If my cost per lead, columns, performance. So it's going to give me results and cost per result. So if my cost per result, which in this case is lead, is $2, you want to be spending at least $4 per day advertising this. If it's $1, you want to be spending at least $2 per day. If it's $5, you want to be spending at least $10 a day on ads. This is probably going to cost you in the range of $1 to $3 per lead. Like that's pretty standard. I've seen a lot of these, right? No, she doesn't really have a 22,000 square foot home. Her story talks about how she was at our mastermind in Florida this past, like we both just got back from it. And she's talking about that's where she was writing the ad from. So now we're going to watch, and all you're going to see is cost per result column. You're going to see one number for the top one and one number for the bottom one. And maybe they're close. Maybe that's not a big enough discrepancy in the ad to really get us much distinguishing stuff, but we'll see. Who knows?
Okay.
You never know until you test. Got it?
Got it. That was awesome.
We're over time, but I think this is just hand raised from everybody here. Was this helpful and valuable? Was this good? Was this bad? Did you like this? I don't know.
Yeah. You guys, it is awesome. I just want to say, Matt, this is phenomenal teaching. And yes, it is in the training in the back of Legendary in some package, right? And stuff, but you go through it super fast on that one, even though we can slow it down and go click by click. Today was really great, you guys, because you got real time hand holding personal stuff. And I just can't thank you enough, Matt. Really. That's awesome. You just don't get this anywhere else, people.
Yeah. You really don't. And here's the other thing, just for everybody watching, for anybody who's going to see the recording and anybody watching, just so you know, here's a little tip on when you start doing this kind of stuff. The reason it's so important and we want to bring people on like this is because I know this is just one little step for Jane to get into this comfortability mode of being in front of a crowd of people online, showing ads, showing people how to do this. And if I do something called modeling, which is what we're doing right now, then it's like, oh my gosh, that isn't that hard. If I screw something up or the technology's broken, right? People like to see when you screw up the technology. That's actually what people want to see. Oh, you mean, when my Facebook pixel wasn't working, I thought I was the only one. Okay, now how do you go about fixing that stuff? That is the goal. That's the stuff people want, right? And so now next time that you're like thinking about, ooh, maybe I'll hop on a call or help somebody with their funnel, it's okay if I don't have all the answers. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, okay. Charlotte says, I'm learning Facebook. I have a personal page with less than 30 friends, and 90% of those people are close family. Question, should I start a brand new Facebook business page? Yes, you need a business page to advertise on Facebook. If you want to start one, sure, it doesn't matter. If you have one that's just your name, Charlotte, just keep it. That's fine. You can have as many pages as you want, though.